Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 310 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're ever seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, except last week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. Or if you listen to us on audio services, that's cool too. Just give us a thumbs up, 5-star review, or whatever your service allows. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, where you can support us if you would like. And I'm honestly not going to read the tiers anymore. I'll just say the $5 producer tier is probably the most value. You can watch us record the podcast live on YouTube. You also get the podcast live one day early, and you also get a bonus episode every month. Fantastic value, I must say myself. And we're going to be recording that bonus episode after this main episode.
Yes.
Some of our patrons deserve a shout out, just like our affiliates. James Solar, make sure you check out James Games and More on YouTube. Sarah Solar, John Tingley, Derek Bamford, and Mom. Also our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, Dustin Downs, and Chris Peralta. Also, make sure you check out PS Rewind on YouTube. If you like cool t-shirts and the like, you can always go to teespring.com/stores/
Wabba
if you can spell that. How would you spell that?
W-O-B-B-A-D-A-B-B-A? Yeah.
Wabba dabba. Wabba dabba doo. Is that what you were doing? Were you doing yo?
I don't know what I was wabba dabba doing.
Well, I almost said yo gabba gabbaing until I'm 41. Sorry we weren't here last week. There honestly wasn't a lot to talk about. This may... I know I said at the last episode anyways that we might just go bi-weekly until news heats up. So just bear with us, whatever, but just had some personal stuff, happened last week, which is hopefully now resolved forever. But over this past week, we did have some fun. If you've heard us talk about before, last year, Sean and I did a fantasy Metacritic draft for 2022, just the two of us.
Oh, it's Men in Black. But...
Yeah. Bounce with me. Just bounce. No, that's ninja rap. No, it's this.
You're so white.
Take a move with me. Just move with me. Take a walk with me. Just walk. And I won because 5 of Sean's 13 games didn't even come out. So
Terrible.
I won pretty easily.
Terrible.
But this year we wanted to open it up to our patrons, so we did that a few days ago. So we had a 6-team draft, 8 rounds. We're going to keep the highest 6 scores. And I feel pretty good about my team. I was drafting 5th. Was not happy about that.
Since it's all such a crapshoot, John, if you're interested, well, first of all, we need to release our picks. Mm-hmm. John, if you want to just pick 7 or 8 games, if you're so interested, that have not already been picked, do it.
Yeah.
I don't know how good you'll do, but
it's all a crapshoot.
Yeah, so who knows? You might do fine.
You can't pick Forspoken because that's out now, and it's a 69.
Nobody picked it.
Nobody did, luckily. I would rather pick something that doesn't come out. I was like, I've got a better chance of that. Or
that's what I did.
Something that doesn't even exist. I'm hot. I had to take my socks off.
Well, there's poop on the floor, so be careful.
Is my chair shinking?
Shinku.
So yeah, John, let us know. Or you can just give me a lit. You could like rank 100 games, and I'll just give them to you in order that they haven't been picked
the best 8
yet.
that are still available.
So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We'll update as we go through the year. I like doing stuff like this with y'all. It's really fun. Yeah, and we'll see how it goes throughout the year. I don't think I will win as easily as I did last year.
No.
But we'll see how it goes. Derek got the number 1 pick. He, of course, went with Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know why you would pick anything else. I think it's guaranteed for at least like a 91 at the worst.
I was going to say at least like 93 probably.
It's going to get the Nintendo bump, and hopefully it's a really good game. I know I hate on Zelda a lot here. I love Zelda. What am I saying? I hate on Breath of the Wild a lot here, but I'm still very excited for Tears of the Kingdom. Is that my most anticipated game this year? I don't know. But maybe if you're a patron, you'll be able to find out in a couple of days. What could I be talking about? You kind of got Uncle Jesse hair going.
Yeah, I don't know. Wait, why?
It's just very like... It's not long enough, but You got a quaff.
A quaff?
Didn't you just get a haircut?
Where's my phone?
Right there. It's behind there for some reason.
I got a haircut.
Was it like 3 weeks ago now or something?
2 weeks ago.
I got a haircut. James is here. John will pick some stuff. All right, cool.
I got this like cowlick right here. Like even when my hair does go over, it goes like this, but then it like fans. So like over here, it's just more like sticking straight out. Like it doesn't want to lie down.
I have a cowlick back here where you normally do this thing.
Yeah.
But it's like it's kind of okay right now. But once it gets a little bit longer, that joker will not lay down. I can gel, mousse, pomade. I can do anything to hairspray, Aquanet. Nothing holds it down. It's very annoying.
Dep.
That was did that come in the? It was a squeeze bottle.
LA Looks.
LA Looks. LA Gear. Dad was like, "You want pumps? Fine. LA Gear, not Reebok." I'm like, "Okay, whatever. I'll take them. They look stupid, but thanks, Dad." So yeah, that's enough about hair products. This is when I'm sitting here. This feels like a laptop to me, and then there's a mouse. So I'm like, okay, let me scroll. No, idiot. That's this thing. So yeah. Let's talk, unless you have any witty banter before we jump into that.
Oh, no. No, I don't think so.
The Last of Us HBO series is here. I do think, so now the 2 episodes are out.
No spoilers, don't worry.
Well, we might get into light spoilers, but we won't go too in depth. What do you think so far through 2 episodes?
Love it.
I think it's fantastic. I think the changes that they've made,
they're fine.
Like the way that the last episode ended is not how it is in the game. But I was like, this kind of makes more sense with how they set up the world with the spaghetti and what the spaghetti does. You know what I mean?
Mom spaghetti.
There was vomit on sweaters for sure. I still don't know. Pedro Pascal nails it.
I thought I was going to be like, why is Pedro Pascal on my TV? But I'm like, past it.
He's Joel.
I'm past it. Yeah, he's just become Joel. I don't think of him as Pedro. I'm less so. I think Bella Ramsey, her performance is spot on. She didn't look like Ellie at all. And if they're going to do part 2, she's really not going to look like Ellie.
So as Derek or maybe it was John, somebody was
but the
saying in our
performance
Discord,
is spot on. Like
she's already 19 and she's playing a 14-year-old girl. She doesn't look 14. She's acting very well. It's just I still just don't see Ellie, but like that's my only hang up. Like so far, and Tommy was awesome. First off, Tommy sounded just like Tommy.
Yes.
I was like, what the hell? That's
and I
Gabriel
either
Luna?
didn't know or had forgotten that Marlene was Marlene. I was like, wow, she's perfect. And then I looked it up. I'm like,
oh, that's why.
I think I did know that. But yeah, the casting is perfect. The acting is perfect. I mean, the source material was already perfect, so they didn't have to do much. 2 of my favorite things so far have been the opening scenes to both episodes. So, they are like, obviously, episode 2, the museum, terrifying. Even though you know exactly what's going to happen. But the way those 2 opening scenes, like, I don't know if it's because of the pandemic where it's like anything's possible now. It just gives me such a weird feeling in my gut. I'm like, this is terrifying, and it's not even like being scared of the clickers is terrifying, but it's fun. Both those opening scenes are just terrifying in just a not fun way at all.
I do wonder if they're going to do one of those every episode. I kind of think they might.
They might, yeah.
Like, I would still like to see, I would love it if they did.
Well, at some point they're going to do, what do you call it?
Left Behind.
Left Behind, which I don't know if that will just be an opening.
Or if it'll be a flashback.
Will it be a whole episode? Like, I don't really know how they do it or when. Do they do it probably around episode 7 or so? Like, do they just have that be an episode? Like, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's fantastic.
At first, when I knew they were changing, first off, people were saying this after the first episode. I didn't see it because, oh, by the way, freaking Twitter. I don't like the Twitter app. I like using my Echo Phone, but now Twitter has shut down all third-party apps. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I don't even go on Twitter because I'm like, this sucks. Like every time I open it, it just refreshes and goes back to the main page. I'm like, I want to stay on my lists. All I do on Twitter is I go to my gaming list or my football list, or I'll go to my wrestling list after Mondays and Wednesdays and just see what happened, you know? But now I hate the actual Twitter app. It sucks so bad. I got to think they're going to.
I'm definitely spending less and less time on Twitter, and it's fantastic. And that's
not like a F you, Elon. I don't care about Elon either way. It's not a political thing or anything like that. It's just, I want my app back. I like EchoFon. Rasan still makes fun of me for using EchoFon after I've been on Twitter for 14, 16 years, whatever it's been. It was 07 or 09, I don't remember. But anyways, I was saying something. Oh, yeah. There was a theory after the first episode where they kind of nailed it, how it
spread. Yeah.
Did you see that theory?
Yeah.
Because the certain, like, she didn't eat
the biscuits, the cookies,
the cake.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow. Also, I don't think this is a spoiler because I think they showed it in one of the trailers. I just forgot it. The plane crash in the first episode.
A step up.
And I was like, that was not in the game.
No.
But I was like,
it's just a car crash.
Oh, that's another thing I was going to say. First off, the part was perfect in the most horrible way, and then
for some reason that got me the most. I mean, I knew it was coming, it still got to me, whatever. But again, minor spoilers. When he's like holding her and he's like, come on, and he's like sobbing, whatever. I'm like, But it was when Tommy just says, Joel,
right?
Like he's just like,
and he's like, shut up.
Yeah, just him saying, Joel. I was like, like he knew it was, God. Yeah, that was awful.
It was so well done. And one of the other things I like about this, I think one of the hardest things about video game adaptations to get right when it goes to live action is the action, the actual gameplay, as it were. Castlevania had no issue with this because it's animated and every fight was awesome. Every final boss each season, it was just like, it was so well done. The action was amazing.
When do we know when that's coming back?
I think it's got to be pretty soon.
Yeah.
I would hope it's got to be this year.
You'd think, yeah.
Because I think it was
21.
Yeah,
I think.
Okay. I'm going to go back and watch that again. You can watch that in like 2 or 3 days. But what I like about what they've done, speaking of the museum, is they're doing a pretty cool way. Like, it felt like you were watching somebody play the game at that part. Obviously, it's different because it's not just third-person camera and you're controlling Joel and everything. But when that action set piece was going down, I was like, this is how you do video games. Because, like, obviously...
They're not, like, shoehorning in a bunch of action. The action has been
like, here's the
few and far between.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, you're in a new area. Here come the bad guys. Oh, you beat him. Right. Okay, go to the next area. Here's more. Yeah, it's like... They've been nailing it. I think they're going to keep it up. I just wish, man, I wish they would have just taken their time. You could have easily done Last of Us Part 1 over 2 or 3 seasons.
Do we know for sure that this is one season?
I mean, I read it. I assume it's true, but I mean, is it 9 episodes, 10 episodes? 9. And
I got a feeling the last one's going to be an hour and a half like the first one was.
Probably, yeah. Man.
So that's 11 hours. I mean, you can beat The Last of Us in 11 hours.
Yeah.
I did see that. I didn't see what the numbers were, but the initial numbers were overnight for the first episode were 4.7 million. That ballooned to 17-something million throughout the first week. So it's a huge hit. What I do worry...
Episode 2 went up like 20% or so.
I figured now
5 million something.
When the word of mouth spreads, this thing is going to be massive. And obviously it's not just video game people watching it.
And now the video game sales are going back up.
They went up 200% last week in the UK, or over 200%, I think it was. And there is a free trial of The Last of Us Part 1 on if you have PS Plus Premium. You got the Platinum, right?
Mm-hmm.
Was it bad, or do you just follow a guide? And because you don't have to beat it on hard or anything.
No, it wasn't bad at all. If you follow a guide, it really won't be. I followed a guide for collectibles.
Yeah.
But that was it. So I got to the end of the game, and I'm like, all right, I can't be missing much. And there were some trophies that it was like craft and use every single type of weapon, which
craft
I hadn't
break
done.
Or something.
And so I had to like look up a guide. Where can I find this thing to be able to make this thing? And like, so it was kind of annoying. It wasn't difficult at all.
Okay.
I would get it. I'll probably do the same thing with part 2 at some point.
At some point, I'm going to go back and do it because I know once they added the accessibility stuff.
I read the Wikipedia, like the plot summary of part 2, just because I couldn't remember. I knew the big things, but I forgot about a lot of it.
You forgot how bad it was.
The Wikipedia page makes it seem very short. And I know it does. When I played through it, I'm like, this game is too long. But then when I read the Wikipedia, I'm like,
it was over 20 hours. But you got to think when they do the Wikipedia, not to get spoilers, you can combine two things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that are happening.
No, but they do it. They tell it.
Oh, as the game
in the
does?
way, yeah.
Well, all that does, I hope the series is good enough to make me want to play the game. John, the game.
It's so good.
At this point, though, I would say if you don't know what happens, don't play the game. That's why Rasan is watching it, and he's like, this is freaking awesome. He's like, I would be curious. Snarky. Like, this is amazing. And I'm like, then you don't. Before the first episode, he was like, do you think it's going to be good, Kev? What? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, just don't look up what happens. Don't look up what happens. Oh, okay. And then he texted me, holy shit. I'm like, yep, told you. And I said, do not look up anything, period. And don't look up part 2 either. He's like, oh, I'm not going to. I'm all in now. I'm like, okay, good. But it is making me want to go back and play it again. I'm waiting to see. Oh, by the way, I haven't played Dead Space either. So I'm waiting to see what the reviews are for that. Otherwise, I'm going to have some time. I mean, I'll talk about a game here in a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to work that well for me. I kind of want to go back and play them both, even the second one. I do wonder now, being that's crazy, almost 3 years removed. I wonder if anything will change. I'm going to say you can tell I've been watching Curb. Probably not. But I do wonder if, now that I know everything that happens because I didn't read the spoilers ahead of time, if I come out with a different outlook of it.
That's going to be brutal when they do part 2 in the show. Like,
but I almost wonder if they Final Fantasy VII remake it. Because here's one thing. Somebody said this. I think it was on GameScoop. The only thing you worry about, and I was like, man, I wish I thought of that. So I'm not saying this was my idea. HBO executives are obviously like, holy crap, this is amazing. Yes, I'm surprised they haven't, or maybe they have announced it because I'm just not on Twitter, that, season 2 has been greenlit.
I don't think it's official, but I think it's a foregone conclusion at this point.
We know they're working on part 3. We don't know, but we know. What if they get to season 3 of the show in 25 and Last of Us Part 3 isn't out yet? You know what I mean? Like for the video game fans, you know what I mean? Like
I don't think that
would they George Railroad Martin it, is what somebody was saying on the podcast. Like, what would they just make their own part 3 and then Neil makes his own part? You know what I mean?
But either way, part 2 will have come and gone, so they're not gonna divert
remake
from
it.
Yeah.
Game had a great story, but it felt like a chore. Okay, so you have played it. Okay, I was treading lightly. Okay. I will say, if it was a chore to play, does John have a PS5? Yeah, he's got a PS5. I would say play it or wait for it to go on sale.
I loved the first one.
The gameplay is so much. I tried to, before Last of Us Part 2 came out, I went back to play Last of Us Remastered, and I was like, after an hour, I was like, I can't play it. This is not.
I don't even know that I got
crap.
to Ellie. And I was like, I don't feel like playing this anymore.
I got to Ellie, but that was it.
Part 1 came out, the remake, whatever. And I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's that different from the original, or if it was just, it felt new, so...
Or if it just needed that little bit of tweaking.
Yeah.
But yeah, the show is awesome. I thought about going back and watching the first episode again, but it's an hour and 24 minutes, but also I can't put myself through that again.
The part with the old lady was also...
That's what I was going to say.
One of the most terrifying things.
Yeah, where you see her in the mirror.
Yeah.
And I was like, I thought that was going to happen, but I didn't know that. And then just everything's fine. And then, man.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I love it. And Neil Druckmann is doing... So Troy Baker is hosting the Last of Us podcast. which goes up after every show, like talking about that episode. It's Troy Baker, Craig Mazin, and Neil Druckmann.
They should call it the podcast of us.
They should have, yes.
I don't know what they call it.
I don't know that the SEO would work as well, but yes.
Maybe not.
But like they're like Better Call Saul, they had the
Talking Saul.
No, not the TV show. They had a podcast with some of the executive producers. They'd have Gilligan on. They'd have Gould. Well, no, Gilligan and
Gould.
No Levinson.
No Levinson. I mean, no Gould.
I was hoping you were just
the Gould's been.
I was hoping you were going to say something. All right, Sean.
Yes.
What you been playing these past couple weeks? Did you get the platinum?
I did.
You did?
I got the platinum in Crisis Core. So I wanted to talk about this last week. And since then, I've now actually platinumed it, so I've exhaled a little bit.
You thought you effed up?
I beat the game. I had already known that I had messed up a little bit for getting the platinum, at least for getting it the most straightforward way. I'm like, I can fly through this game, skip cutscenes, whatever, do New Game Plus, so I'm like super OP. I can get through it pretty quickly. I'm not too worried about it, so whatever. Let me just go ahead and do everything I can on the first playthrough. There's a couple like early game, mini game type trophies that I didn't get. And one like mid-game one that I didn't get, and then getting all the shops. And the shops I screwed up because there's at least one that's missable in Chapter 9 that you literally just find in a chest. And
I love Final Fantasy. It's so stupid.
So, well, let me rewind. Okay. So, the hardest part was beating
Minerva.
Like I told you, she's no Melania, but it was not easy. But there's a very like straightforward way to beat her. You steal or mug right in the beginning.
What is mug? I never got that.
It's steal with an attack. Okay. You like attack and it also steals.
You mug them. Okay, that makes sense. You attack and take something. Okay.
And it may take a few tries for it to be successful, but once you successfully steal or mug, you get 99 Phoenix Downs. I also got to the end game, like just doing the side quest stuff, before I finally realized what the Phoenix Downs did in this game. Because I saw Phoenix Downs.
Other ones?
Well, I never really thought about it. In other games, you have a party. So if you die, I use a Phoenix Down to bring you back to life. But in this, you have no party. So I'm like, what's a Phoenix Down going to do? And then eventually it just clicked. I'm like, that's probably a much easier way.
How do you even use it then?
You just use it. And it gives you the little like halo looking thing.
And then when you come back to life, you just use another one?
Yeah. So as long as you have that, when you die, you come right back. But I always thought you could only get that by using the Phoenix summon thing, yeah. So once I realized that that's what the Phoenix Downs do, it made everything a lot easier. But so you steal from her, and once it's successful, you get 99 Phoenix Downs. So you basically have unlimited Phoenix Downs. So the way you beat her is you just keep using it, because pretty much everything she does, if it hits you, one hit kill. She's Mike Tyson. But as long as you have the Phoenix Down, you come right back to life.
Right.
And usually, at least for like the first half of the battle, as soon as you come back to life, just circles. Okay.
Use it again.
Get the thing on your head and you're good. Try to get 1 or 2 attacks in. And by that point, if you've done it the right way, you're doing 99,999 damage to her, but she's got, I can't remember, 2 million health or something. No, I think it's 1 million. No, it's 10 million because you have to hit her, assuming you're doing basically 100,000 damage each time, you have to hit her 101 times to kill her. And you have 99 Phoenix Downs. So as long as you can hit her once, every time you die, you'll pretty much get
So you're not even... So potions mean nothing in that fight? High potions, ether, all that
I think there's some... If you have your stats like completely leveled, which I had my like strength and HP completely leveled, but not my vitality and spirit, which are basically physical and magic defense. If you did, you might be able to survive some of her attacks, and then you can use potions to make sure you always have full health. Right. But I'm like, it's just as easy to just die and come back to life.
Yeah. Like you got the red potion in Zelda 1. Yeah.
Exactly. The hardest part was somewhere around halfway through. When you come back to life, she sometimes like doesn't miss a beat and is already like doing another spell. So before you even have a chance to use your Phoenix down, you're dead, and then game over. So that happened to me a few times. And eventually what I had to do, anytime I got a limit break, I would just hold on to it. Because as soon as you use it, it's like it stops everything that's happening. And so when I would come back to life, as soon as I could move, I would pause it and try to see, is she already about to cast something, or is she just kind of walking around? And if she's just walking around, I just use Phoenix down, whatever. If I see her about to cast something, I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to cast Phoenix down. I use my limit break, because that'll just cancel everything out. It won't do a whole lot of damage, but at least kind of resets her.
And then
that'll give me enough time to use Phoenix down, rinse and repeat. So that's how I eventually beat her. Wasn't that bad once I got the strategy down. So now I thought, okay, well, I got to fly through the game, do the few things that I missed, get the shop that I missed in Chapter 9, platinum. Fly through the game, get all the other things, get to Chapter 9, open the chest, get the shop, no trophy pop.
You got to get them all again.
You got to get them all again.
In one playthrough.
So, New Game Plus, apparently the shops don't carry over, which I guess could somehow break the game. But if you're doing a New Game Plus, you've already broken the game.
It, yeah.
So, luckily, I thought far enough ahead to just create a save at the beginning of every chapter. Okay. So I didn't have to go all the way back. So I'm like, let me look up. Okay, there's the missable one in Chapter 9 that I got. And there's another missable one in like Chapter 5 where you have to... Did you do the thing with like the Wutai spies?
I don't think so.
So that unlocks side missions, one of which gives you a shop as the prize. So I'm like, all right, I gotta go back to that chapter. I gotta do that crap again. Okay, done. Fast forward back to Chapter 9, grab the one in the chest, go to Chapter 10 so that all the missions are available, and just start making my way through them, at least the ones I have to, in order to get all the ones that have shops as prizes. Making my way through that. And then I'm looking at this guide. It's like beat mission 6-2-6 or something. And I don't have that available. And I'm like, well, I beat everything before that. I beat all of 6 ones or whatever it is. All right, how do I unlock this one? And power picks, I love it. No mention of that being missable. It is missable because in order to unlock those missions, you need to talk to like the Shinra employee in Chapter 5, something. So I had already spent like an hour or two going through all these missions.
For nothing.
Only to realize I still can't get to them all because there was another one that was missable that I didn't realize. So that's around the point last week where I'm like, I'm done for a while. I can't do it anymore. So I eventually sucked it up yesterday, went back in, made sure that I did that. I did all the spy. No, I'd already had a save point after the spies at least. Then I had to do the thing, talk to the person so I could make sure I had the missions, go back to Chapter 9, find the one in the chest, and then just start grinding my way through the missions. And eventually got it. But it took me about 60 hours, and that's 60 hours of like game time. With the amount of times I had to load previous saves, it was probably 65, maybe close to 70 when you factor in all the time that I wasted. It could have been done in like 50 probably if you had done it with a guide and not, missed out on anything. So just missing that one shop made it so much more difficult.
And that was number 70, right? I think
that was number 70, yeah.
And
so,
then
I haven't done anything.
Okay.
Since.
Okay. I thought you were gonna be like, and then I played the taco quiz game. And whatever I did.
That's all I've done. I started looking into Dark Souls because Chris was playing lately. I'm like, man, I do need to play that at some point. I'm like, let me look into the platinum and like PSN profiles or PlayStation trophies. One of those things. Well, it said it was like an 8 out of 10 difficulty, minimum of like 2.5 hours of playthrough or 2.5 playthroughs. Yeah. And I'm like, And yeah, I think it was like anywhere from 80 to 120 hours, depending on how good you are. And I'm like, I'm not ready to do that yet. I may look
Demon
through,
Souls, right?
Yeah, I got Demon Souls, Dark Souls 3, Elden Ring, Bloodborne.
You're
So I got
You
a
gotta
lot of
play-
the big ones. I feel like I'm missing Dark Souls.
You got to play Sekiro.
I don't know that I like the whole like
Parry.
where you just have to eat your one like I don't know. But everybody one game of the year, like it's got to be good. But I don't know. The thing that killed me about Dark Souls 3 was I don't even remember. Oh, it was like getting all of the there's some kind
random
of stupid
drops of
collectathon
rings
that
and
was
something.
like crazy, super random or super rare random drops. And thank God for Dustin. He helped me out with that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So if there's anything like that in Dark Souls, which there probably is, I don't know that I'm ready to put myself through that again. I do want to play it, but I'm like, if I play this game, I'm going to want to get the platinum. So I'm not even letting myself play it until I know that I'm okay with going for the platinum. And I'm not there right now. So, yeah, that's all I've played. That's pretty much all I've played all year is Crisis Core.
Oh, that reminded me. I'm going to keep a note. We should both do this and just see how. I mean, I'm sure we're both. It's going to be around the same. I'm sure. I want to keep a note to see how much. I almost don't want to know, but I want to know how much I spend on video games this year. Like I already bought the Pulse headset. That's $100. I bought my Platinum games. That was $5.90. I've got PSVR 2 next month. I might be getting Dead Space
headset?
because I let the boys when they got theirs. I was like, my PlayStation's black anyways. I've been wanting to get a
so you bought the
black
black
Pulse
one.
headset,
Okay.
so I gave them. My
Did
white
you
one.
pre-order the PSVR 2 stand
I was
thing?
looking at it.
I did.
The charging.
As
thing.
soon as I saw it, I'm like, oh, I have to get this.
But I'm kind of
So,
like, I just wonder, like, how annoying is it going to be? It's probably going to be pretty annoying. And what is? Do we know the battery life on those things?
no idea.
I think I'm going to wait.
We're
but
only 1 month away. I cannot wait. I'm going to buy so many stupid games for this
I know.
thing. Like,
But yeah, I want to track how much I spend on video games this year. Just to.
I'm
make
thinking
myself
about.
sick.
I think it's pretty soon. I think next month. I need to figure out if I want to keep premium or whatever, or go.
Oh yeah,
I think I might go down a level.
I
Just
like
'cause
extra.
That gets me like 90% of the stuff I ever want to do. Like the only thing I like about premium are the PS4 versions of the classic
PS2
titles,
games, yeah.
so that you can actually download them and stuff. I'm not down with the streaming. I've really only tried it once, but it was Mega Man 10, like literally, basically an NES game that could not run without like delay in the button
And you
inputs
can't have
and
that
stuff.
Mega Man. You're dead.
Yeah, and so I'm like, nah, I'm not doing that.
If they,
So-
if they, whenever they figure out, I'm going to try to be hopeful. Whenever they figure out downloadable PS3 games, I'm there for premium. I'm there.
then yeah, I think that's when I would go back, but I'm probably gonna go down a notch.
Yeah. If you're looking for something to play before Dead Space comes out, are you in on Dead Space, or are you waiting for the reviews like I am?
So this game seems to be like universally loved, and I saw something today where like some kind of director for the game is like, I can't even play this game at night, and I'm like, that's my kind of game. I feel like I'm all in, but I don't really know much about it, and I know that Callisto was kind of supposed to be like that, like it's kind of like the knockoff, like what do you call it? Bloodstain was to Castlevania
Right. 3.
Symphony, and I don't like Callisto. Like I feel like I'm already done. I actually wanted to bring it so you can borrow it, and I just totally forgot. But now I'm kind of like, if that's what Dead Space is like, and I doubt that
not,
it is. Yeah. Other than it's space and
Right.
scary.
And Glenn
like-
Schofield made both. Yeah.
So I think I'm in. I'll probably wait for reviews, but I mean, even if it's like
As long as it's
an
like in the
80 or
80s,
so,
yeah.
I'm like, that's probably good enough. But I don't know. I'm worried because of how much Callisto did not click for me.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Well, if you're looking for something to play, I really do highly suggest Titanfall 2. I beat it over the last 2 weeks. It really is a short campaign, 6 hours or so. It's one of the most fun first-person shooters I've ever played.
Can you get the platinum?
I have no idea. I'm not even going to try.
Oh, really?
But I know Colin got the platinum, but he had to have Chris help him out with some trophy. There's some wall running thing that he couldn't do. I don't know if it's a time limit thing or something, but he had to keep trying. He could never do it, so he had Chris had to get him that trophy, and then he got the platinum for it.
Wow.
It's just one of the. It's now I really do. I want Titanfall 3. I don't care about Apex Legends. I'm not going to play that. I want single player story to continue. This game was so much fun. Now, yeah, does it look like a 26? First off, it doesn't look like a 2016 game when you're fighting the mechs and everything, and you're just out and you're doing that. Anytime you're like in a cutscene with a person and their face comes in, I'm like, wow, that's what games used to look like 7 years ago. But the story's great. It's emotional, actually. Like with you and your mech, or Titan, I keep calling it a mech. Your Titan, fighting other Titans is so much fun. The thing that I wanted to see about this game, and was what Chris Raygun was saying, it's like one of the coolest gameplay shifts that he's ever seen in a video game. And I told you what it was. I don't want to spoil it here in case people don't know, because when it happened, I was just like, holy crap. This is so friggin' cool from like a combat, from a storytelling perspective, a combat perspective, and a puzzle solving perspective. It's so friggin' cool. And I was like, yeah, I've never experienced anything like this in a game that I can think of, the way they did it.
So what it reminds me of, knowing nothing about it, basically only knowing your text message about it, it reminds me of, and this means I don't want to spoil it for them, and you're not going to know what I'm talking about, but there's a similar thing, at least the way I'm picturing it, that's done in Skyward Sword that I did not like.
Okay.
So I'm curious. I wonder how, I feel like that's the kind of thing that can be cool, but if it's at all how I'm picturing it in Skyward Sword, and it's probably not, I didn't enjoy it.
I would guess it's not. And it's like halfway through the game, I would say. And again, the game's only like 6-7 hours long. But yeah, and that's on PS Plus Extra, so you can play it. I mean, it's so much fun. I wish they would make Titanfall 3, but now Respawn's doing Star Wars and stuff and supporting Apex Legends, so we'll probably never get it. But yeah, I will say this: there's a cutscene near the end of the game that reminded me of the microwave chamber in Metal Gear Solid 4.
Interesting.
I don't know that it was that intense, but it was pretty damn close, and it was so well done. And also there's a post-credit scene. It ends on a cliffhanger setting up Titanfall 3, and I'm like, they're never gonna get it.
Never gonna get it.
We're never gonna get it. But man, it's so good. I definitely would. If you, I mean, you could beat it in 2 days. Like, it's that, or you could just take your time. I mean, check the trophies and stuff, but actually don't check the trophy. I don't know, because I don't know what I don't remember if the trophies spoil the story, and it actually has a good story.
Yeah.
But you get, every time like you beat a Titan boss, you get a different, and sometimes you'll find these things in the levels too, but you get a new loadout for your Titan, like different, like you get a Gatling gun to start out with, and then you beat this boss, and then you get like, but it's not just your main gun. You get a special attack. You've got different defensive attacks. You've got, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I was so glad I played it, and yeah, I definitely recommend it if you like first-person shooters, even if you don't. I kind of want to try out one of the games. I was saying, if I'm bored, and maybe I'll just play Last of Us and Last of Us 2 again, depending on how Dead Space reviews are here in a day or so, I would assume. Killzone Shadowfall, the launch PS4 game that's supposed to be really good, but then Guerrilla just moved on to Horizon. I've never played a Killzone game. That one's supposed to be pretty good. That was never on PS Plus that I can remember, but it is on PS Plus Extra. I think I downloaded it, or maybe I just added it to my library. I can't remember. But I kind of want to just give it a try, because it was supposed to be pretty... I wish I would have got that when I got my PS4 instead of Call of Duty Ghosts. I know that, because that game sucked.
Yeah.
That was not a fun Call of Duty game. The only other thing I've played, guys, Red Dead Redemption 2. I don't know if I can stick with it. The acting is great. The storytelling seems cool. I assume I know what the twist is because I'm pretty sure one of the guys I'm with, Dutch, is actually the bad guy. So I'm just waiting for that to happen. But I'm in the snow. There's just horses, and I've got like a revolver or a shotgun or a rifle. I just don't know. And I know
you haven't gotten the laser gun yet.
I haven't gotten that. I haven't gotten a Lamborghini or anything. I don't want to give up yet because I think it was Derek was saying, just get out of the mountains. I'm still in the mountains. I'm in the snowy mountains and everything. Probably played it for 2 hours, I think. It seems like I'm getting close. It seems like we're going to try to pull off a train robbery. And I'm sure that's where I'm going to get double crossed and whatever. And then everything's going to go to crap. And then it'll be like 1 year later or whatever it'll be. I did see John Marston. I saved him. That was cool because he's Red Dead 1. And Red Dead 2 is a prequel, by the way. But I don't know. I don't
think I knew that.
Yeah, I don't want to give up on it. But I mean, you know how the first one ends, right?
No, okay. I never really cared.
It's supposed to be just... I mean, I've seen the ending, but I didn't play the game to get to it. But it's like...
Is Red Dead Revolver just like...
They don't even... It's like we don't talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like before Rockstar just ascended to... Red Dead Redemption and GTA 5 levels of just, this is perfect.
Okay.
And a lot of people say that GTA 4 gets a bad rap, and if you go back and play it now, it's pretty friggin' sweet. I don't know. But I'm going to try, that's what I need to do this week, is just try to get out of the mountains, and then if it's still not clicking, I just don't know about the combat. I don't know about, I will say the horse control is pretty decent. I will say that. That's always one of my big things in video games is how does the stupid horse control? The horse was great. The goat, whatever it was, in Elden Ring was great. Some Zelda games it's good. Some Zelda games it's not good. But the horse is good in this. But I just don't want to ride. I don't. It still goes back to my whole thing. Like I've always said, like I don't care about westerns. I've never watched a western. I don't care to ever watch a western. I don't care about the Wild West. I don't think I even watched the Will Smith movie when it came out.
Yes, you did.
I did. Did we all watch it?
I mean, I saw it. I assume you went with me.
I have no memory of it.
I mean, I don't remember much. There's like giant, like connect. What do they call it? Not connects.
Is it connects or is
no?
it...
Connects was the plastic thing. You know what I'm getting at?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Those metal things.
Yeah,
like grown-up Lego looking things. What were the? Not connects. Those were the plastic ones.
I think it starts with a K.
I think it does too. But anyways, there's like a giant spider.
Yeah, I kind of remember that. I should watch... CinemaSins did a video on it. I should just watch that, and maybe that'll jog my memory. But anyways, I don't know. And I do think, so far, I mean, I've only played an hour or two, whatever it's been. Chris Judge should have won Best Actor that year. Not What's-His-Face for What's-His-Face. I can't even remember what the character's name is.
Yeah.
Roger Craig Smith, but I can't remember the character's name. Whatever. I don't know. I'll keep trying, but I don't know. It's just not. So far, it's not for me.
I gotta look this up.
It's going to drive you nuts.
Yeah, I can't.
All right.
I can't concentrate.
Well, since that's all we've played, Sean, you want to get the news of the week or the past 2 weeks?
Let's do it.
Not much to speak of, but this one story was a pretty big one. So let's run through all this crap. Ubisoft is having a whole bunch of issues. This comes from IGN. Ubisoft has canceled 3 unannounced games and delayed its long-in-development pirate adventure, Skull and Bones, yet again. This is either the 6th... This is me now. Either the 6th or the 7th delay. Some people say it's the 6th delay. Some people say it's the 7th delay.
Erector set?
Yes.
Is that all it was called?
It. Yeah. The game was originally announced to come out in 2018.
Well, I didn't think it was that long ago.
Yep. Announcing the news last Wednesday, the company said it's, quote, facing major challenges as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and long-lasting titles that can reach players across the globe, across platforms and business models, end quote. Ubisoft said it has spent the last 4 years attempting to adapt its biggest brands in Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, Ghost Recon, Rainbow Six, and The Division to these converging trends. However, the games from this investment phase have yet to be released, while our recent launches have not performed as well as expected. The company said that software sales over the key holiday season had been, quote, markedly and surprisingly slower than expected, end quote, with Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope and Just Dance 2023 among the games to have failed to meet expectations. I would have assumed Mario plus Rabbids would sell just because it's on Switch.
Right, yeah.
And the first one sold well, so I don't understand. And if a kid's walking in Target and they see it,
They see
you
Mario,
see Mario
yeah.
and you see the little minion things. Skull and Bones, which following a series of previous delays was most recently scheduled to be released this March, will now arrive quote-unquote early in Ubisoft's next fiscal year, 23 to 24, which runs from April until March of 2024. The company claimed that, quote, the additional time has already paid off and brought impressive improvements to its quality, which has been confirmed by recent playtests. Players will be positively surprised by its evolution, end quote. In addition to Skull and Bones, during its 23-24 fiscal year, Ubisoft said it's planning to release Assassin's Creed Mirage, James's pick, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora. Oh, did anybody pick? Nobody picked that.
Did anybody pick Skull and Bones either?
Well, no. And other yet-to-be-announced premium games, including a large one, as well as a promising free-to-play titles for some of our biggest brands, end quote. So basically, we're going to get Far Cry free-to-play. We know they're working on a Division free-to-play game. I don't know. Upcoming free-to-play titles include PC and console game. Oh, well, there you go. The Division Heartland, and mobile titles The Division Resurgence and Ass Creed codename Jade. Last July, Ubisoft said it had also canceled Ghost Recon Frontline, Splinter Cell VR, and 2 other unannounced games. Ubisoft CEO Yves Guillemot, what's his name? What's the guy's name? Guillermo del Toro. We are clearly disappointed by our recent performance. Guillemot said, we are facing contrasted market dynamics as the industry continues to shift towards mega brands and everlasting live games in the context of worsening economic conditions affecting consumer spending. Despite excellent ratings and players' reception as well as an ambitious marketing plan, we were surprised by Mario plus Rabbids Sparks of Hope underperformance in the final weeks of 22 and early January. Just Dance 2023 underperformed as well. What do you expect from Just Dance? Therefore, with the approval of the board of directors, we are taking additional important strategic and operational decisions today. It is key to continue adapting our organization to further strengthen our execution and to ensure we both deliver blah, 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 blah. That's enough. Ubisoft has 20,000 employees. 20,000. What? Also, Yves Guillemot did come out and apologize. This wasn't in this article, but he did say basically to get out of this, he implied that the frontline workers need to basically pull up themselves by the bootstraps, because he said that for them to get out of this, the ball is in their court, and he has since apologized because it was a stupid thing to say. But yeah, Skull and Bones was delayed again. Release date info is coming very soon. They canceled pre-orders on PSN. Maybe they're, like somebody said in the Discord, maybe it's going to be a free-to-play. I hope Microsoft buys Ubisoft. If they don't get Activision, they will. That's my prediction. If Activision falls apart, they'll get Ubisoft, and they'll probably get it for super cheap. They did release a 30-minute gameplay video of Skull and Bones, and I kind of like skipped around. I was like, I could not care less about this. But what do you think about all of Ubisoft's multiple troubles?
I don't know the last Ubisoft game that I really cared about.
I do.
Probably, what do you call it?
Mm-hmm. Immortals.
Yeah.
And you know what is one of those unannounced games that got canceled? Immortals 2.
Probably.
Guarantee it.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I don't really care about Skull and Bones. If we are missing out on Immortals 2, and I think we will find out what it is at some point, and that will suck. I don't know. I never got into Ghost Recon. I never got into Splinter Cell. I've never played Assassin's Creed, even though I feel like I'd probably like them, at least the good ones. I don't know. I mean,
he wants Microsoft to get both of them. They may.
Yeah, who knows? Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Eves.
I played Assassin's Creed Odyssey, the second one, once they changed to this new style of games. And I liked it, but I was like 10 hours in, and I felt like I hadn't really done anything. And If y'all can hear Sean's microphone, sorry about that. We're having some difficulties. Give me a reason not to buy Activision or Ubisoft games. Yeah, but I played it and I was like, this is good. But then it was like the same thing with Witcher 3. I look at the map and it's just like, oh my God, there's a billion things to do. I'm never going to see all this. God bless James for platinuming Valhalla, I think. Or
I mean, to a lesser extent, that's also kind of how Horizon made me feel.
That's
when
why
you look
I
at the
never
map
went back
and
for
I'm
the platinum.
just like,
and that's why it was like number
overload.
6 on my list last year, or 5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
Not a great story, and it didn't make me want to keep coming back. So, I don't know. All right. Whatever. I'm doing it. I don't care. This is going to be like this a lot this year, unless some of this comes true pretty soon. But let's just indulge me, okay? This comes from VGC, Video Games Chronicle. The voice actor who plays Raiden in the Metal Gear Solid games has seemingly teased that there may be new announcements related to the Konami series soon. Quinton Flynn, I don't know why that was tough to say. Quinton Flynn has played Raiden in MGS2, MGS4, and Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Stupidest name ever. And last week tweeted a video advertising his Cameo page. On Monday, a follower replied to the video stating that the 10th anniversary of Metal Gear Rising would be in February 2023. This caused another follower to reply earlier today, whenever this was, wondering if a possible Metal Gear Rising 2 could be on the way, perhaps with an announcement as part of a larger Metal Gear showcase stream. Quote, "Stay tuned for things to be announced in the coming weeks," end quote, Flynn replied with a winking emoji. It's not clear whether Flynn was referring to Metal Gear Rising 2, a Metal Gear event, or just new Metal Gear news in general. VGC sources previously claimed in 2021 that Singapore-based studio Virtuous, of course, I mean, come on, was working on a new version of Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater. VGC later reported that an employee at Virtuous had claimed it's working on, quote, an unannounced AAA action-adventure game remake, end quote, following our report that it had been handed the MGS license. Modern ports of the original Metal Gear Solid games are also understood to be planned, with a reveal for all projects likely this year. Sean. There was also a leaker called Area Hugones, who is saying this guy has a reputation of being right, that Metal Gear Solid Remake is going to be announced in February or March, and that's Metal Gear Solid 1. This is separate from the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake that Virtuous Studios is working on. Thoughts?
Nope.
Why is Quinton Flynn doing that? And I swear to God, if the remake is Metal Gear Solid 4, I'm going to lose my freaking mind.
It's probably just a Rising remake.
I'd be
Metal
fine
Gear
with
Rising
that.
Revengeance remake.
I never played Rising. All I did was play the demo because I couldn't figure out the parrying in the demo, and I was like, I'm not going to be good at this. Whatever. But the game is just so over the top stupid that I'm like, it's the only Metal Gear game I haven't played at all. Well, I haven't played Portable Ops, but I mean, nobody cares about that.
Acid.
Okay, you know what I mean. Yes, I played the first two. I haven't beat
Survive.
We played it. There's a Let's Play video. We did the beta of that piece of crap. But Rising is not the best Metal Gear. John is just trying to trigger me. At some point, there's going to be too much smoke to not be a fire. Konami has said, look forward to announcements on our big series pretty soon. It's got Metal Gear is happening. It's just like they were speculating, or no, another article was speculating that maybe if there is this MGS1 remake happening, maybe that's what Blue Point is working on. And then Virtuous Studios is doing Metal Gear Solid 3. Maybe Metal Gear Solid 3 is not a PlayStation exclusive, but Metal Gear Solid 1 is. Who knows? I don't know. Also, this just jogged in my mind, talking about Metal Gear Rising 2. There was some countdown a few years ago that Sony was doing, and I don't remember what God, if anybody remembers what the hell this was, let me know in the chat now or later in the comments. I cannot remember what it was. But they were counting down to something. And in that countdown was in the Metal Gear Rising font. When they got to 2, it was the Metal Gear Rising font. And everybody was like, oh my God, we're getting Rising 2. And then it never turned out to be that. I wish I could remember what the hell it was, but I don't know. I mean, Like you said, you got Final Fantasy VII Remake. I deserve this.
That's what I'm saying. I think for your sake, I mean, I think it would be cool, but I want it more for your sake. I feel like this is a foregone conclusion. There's too much hype for this for it to just never happen.
Yeah.
I feel like video gamers basically willed a Final Fantasy VII Remake into existence ever since the PS3 tech demo where they were like showing it. I think it's a foregone conclusion that we get, maybe not all of them remade, but we will eventually get a Metal Gear Solid remake of some sort sometime. And eventually it will get announced, and every single person, you included, that has ever said, it's happening, this is it, it's happening, will be like, see, I told you, even though 99% of them were wrong, it just still happened eventually.
You can go back to our...
I'm not going to hold my breath waiting for something to be announced in February, March. It might happen, but I would bet my life that it will happen eventually. Do I think it's going to happen in February, March? I don't, but maybe. But I also think it would just see. I know Metal Gear Solid 3, apparently, certainly with you, and it seems a pretty popular opinion, is like the best. It just seems so weird to just remake that one first. But now, Resident Evil got away with it. They had already kind of sort of remade one, so I think they're like, we're not going to do it again. There's your remake. All right, here's 2 remake. Here's 3 remake. Here's 4 remake. This would just seem weird to just be like, here's a Metal Gear Solid 3 remake. Like,
unless
if they're going to do it, they're going to do all of them, and they'll probably do them all in order.
Unless they're going chronological order.
Maybe.
And they might not even this game might not even be called 3. They might do like they did when it was on 3DS. It was just Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater 3D. There wasn't Metal Gear Solid 3. They took the 3 out of the MGS part of it for some reason. Maybe this will just be Metal Gear Solid, the Twin Snakes. Oh my God, imagine if that was it. They're just porting Twin Snakes to PS5. You can't play any of the Metal Gear games except 5 on PS4 or PS5 right now. That's insane. You can't play the HD collection. You can't play the PS1. You can't play anything. There's no PS1 originals. You can't stream the games. They're not available because of historical footage that they had to take them down because copyright stuff. Like, you can't buy them. It's ridiculous. I can get them on Xbox, I think. I cannot play them on PS4 or PS5. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Also, you know what next year is? 2024. I'll tell you, 20th anniversary of Metal Gear Solid 3 coming out. It was 2004, November. It was November. Or was it September? I can't remember. I think it was November 17th for some reason. I'm screwed up in the head. Yeah, look it up for me. But, like, I don't know, man. I don't know. June 8th, June 8th, 2008 was Metal Gear Solid 4. I know that. But
when do you think Metal Gear Solid 3 came out?
November 17th.
Yes.
It did?
Yes.
Okay. I am screwed up in the head. What is wrong with me? Or no, it was June 12th, 2008 was Metal Gear Solid 4. That's what it was. Yeah, I don't know. It's got to happen. I mean,
Wait, when was 4?
June 12th, 2008. I've got issues, man.
Yep.
Yep, you do. The other thing I was going to say, going to, like, you're completely right. I'll be like, see, told you so. Everybody will. You can go back 2016, I think it was episode 31 for us. Almost 7
What date
years
did
ago.
that come out?
That I don't know. But it was episode 31, I think. It was either 30 or 31 after the Metal Gear Solid Pachinko thing got announced with all the cutscenes and everything. And I was like, they're working on it. It's Metal Gear Solid 3 Remake. They're going to use these cutscenes. It's going to happen. So I've been doing it for 7 years, my friend.
We'll be at like episode 712. It'll finally get announced. See, I knew they weren't doing all that just for a pachinko
Go back to
machine.
2016. Compare the footage. I was right the whole time. All right, let's move on. Last on the news list this week is the NPD results for December and all of 2022. Not surprisingly, for December, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came in at number 1. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Did you change that to man? I wonder if it did that automatically.
I mean, it didn't do it down there.
Or maybe I
there.
did that.
You probably did it on purpose.
God of War Ragnarok holding strong at number 3. Number 4, Madden 23. Number 5, FIFA 23. Number 6, Sonic Frontiers. Haven't played it, but good for Sonic Frontiers.
Yeah.
Just give us Sonic Mania 2 for crying out loud.
There's another shooting in California.
Another one?
7 dead.
Good God. Number 7, Elden Ring. Number 8, Need for Speed Unbound. That surprised me. Number 9, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. That game, it's going to end up selling as much as like Minecraft at some point. That stupid game.
Probably.
And number 10, this made me happy, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion.
Awesome.
You know what's not on that list? Even though it came out like a week and a half before? Callisto. That ain't good. And we'll talk about that here in a second. For all of 2022, the projections that some people had around the middle of the year were wrong. Number 1 in the US ended up being Modern Warfare 2, ahead of Elden Ring at number 2. Even when people were saying that, like I was like, I doubt it. Call of Duty's Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Number 3 for the year, Madden 23. Number 4, after being available for only 8 weeks or so, God of War Ragnarok.
That's pretty impressive.
Number 5, Lego Star Wars, The Skywalker Saga. Number 6, Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Number 7, FIFA 23. Number 8, Pokemon Legends Arceus. Number 9, Horizon Forbidden West. Was available for 9 months more than God of War. And God of War finished 5 spots ahead of it. And then number 10, MLB The Show 22. Remember, with MLB The Show 22, that does not count anything on Xbox, whether people buy it or Game Pass it. Same with Switch. So it might even be higher than, Horizon. The Switch, of course, did lead U.S. console units sold for 2022, but PS5 was number 1 in terms of dollars sold. Both the Switch and FIFA 23 were leading all sales in Europe for 2022. Anything interesting there, Sean?
I mean, I'm pretty happy for Elden Ring. I knew it wasn't going to be number 1, but that's not a game you'd expect to see. I mean, now it is, but like when it was coming out, like
No.
Soulsborne games have always been such a, I don't know if I'd say niche kind of thing, but for it to be number 2 for the year, that's awesome.
Yep, I agree. And honest, I want to go back and do New Game Plus number 2.
Yeah, I need to.
But I don't know. I hope we're getting DLC. I hope they're not just moving on to Armored Core. But yeah. Yep, I'm happy for Elden Ring. I'm happy for Crisis Core Reunion. And yeah, everybody complains about Madden. It was the number 3 selling game this year. Why do you think nothing changes?
Mm-hmm.
Oh well. And now for the wrap up, Sean. Xbox Showcase, a developer direct, I believe they're calling it, is coming January 25th, when a lot of you might be watching this, so we'll cover that next week. Xbox Germany says that they said, and they shouldn't have said, that release dates for Forza and Redfall will be coming in that stream. Interesting. I still say, I don't care that Microsoft said Starfield is coming out in the first half this year and their support page says it. I don't believe it. I think it's going to be another November release.
Yeah, it'll be this year, but not the first half.
That game can't be like Halo Infinite was when it came out. It has to land. Otherwise, why does anybody have an Xbox? Like, Game Pass is cool. You got all these games, but like, that's it? Like, what entices people to go there? Starfield's got to hit. Speaking of Microsoft, they're laying off 10,000 employees, including some at Xbox and Bethesda. Seems the ones at the Xbox side are at 343. Also, Joseph Staten, the creative head of 343, is leaving. Not good. They're supposed to be the flagship, and now it seems like Halo is in a good spot, but it took 2 years to get there. I don't know. Or no, it took 1 year to get there. They delayed it a year, right? Or did it come out with the Xbox? It came out with the Xbox. No, it didn't.
No, but has it only been a year?
Was it November 21? It was November 21.
When did the Xbox come out?
20. That's what I'm saying.
It was 20?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 2 years, yeah.
So Halo was 20? They did?
No, it was 21. Oh, wait, no, so that would only be a year. Time is a flat circle.
It doesn't matter. It's in a good spot now. It wasn't when it came out, and it should have been. Also, speaking of Microsoft, NVIDIA and Google have, quote, expressed concerns to the FTC about the Activision Blizzard King acquisition. Microsoft also, I don't know if this has changed since I wrote this, but they will reportedly be receiving a antitrust warning from the EU. I don't know what that means. I don't know what y'all do in Europe, but it can't be good. Callisto Protocol, as we alluded to earlier, did not meet publisher sales forecasting. It did not recoup. Their budget for this game was $162 million. Grand Theft Auto 5's budget was $250 million. This 8-hour game took $160 million, and nobody says it's any good. That's crazy. If that's true, we're never getting... I mean, I think we're not going to get a Callisto Protocol 2 anyways.
No.
But man, what did they spend their money on? Spider-Man's voice actor, Yuri Lowenthal, who is awesome, has claimed that the, quote, massive and astonishing, end quote, Spider-Man 2 is still on track to come out this fall. It better be, or James is going down in a fire with his fantasy draft. Marvel's Avengers is receiving its final update, and support is ending September 30th. R.I.P. Oh, yeah, also Google Stadia shut down.
Yeah.
It's over. Marvel's Avengers, I played the beta and I was like, this sucks.
No.
PSVR 2, the full launch window has now been revealed with over 30 games coming to it, and Sean and I are very excited. Very, very much. Returnal is coming to PC on February 15th. I think that's going to be big. It's not obviously going to be God of War or Last of Us or anything like that.
I drafted it.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... Well, and I think it's going to be good, yeah, but I think it's going to be big also. WWE 2K23 is coming out March 17th, and they are adding War Games matches. I do have to give IGN credit. Usually their social team sucks, but they said WWE 2K23 coming out this March, and for the first time features no wrestler on the cover. I was like, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
You can't see him. Get it? John Cena, never mind. Ultimate Sackboy and Auto Runner is coming February 21st on iOS. What? Why?
I mean, if it's free, I'll check it out. But
are you in the market for some automatic runners on your iPad 1? You know what I mean? Like,
but I mean, well, I guess I'm picturing it. Is that what it is? Because I was picturing more like the Mario game.
No, this is a 3D. I think this is like Temple,
like
Doom,
Tomb Raider.
It was
Not
called.
Tomb Raider.
Yeah, what the
Temple
hell is that
Run.
thing called? Temple Run. I think it's like that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, still, I might check it out if it's free. But yeah.
Yeah. Bloomberg. Also, this is not made by Savage Studio, the company that PlayStation bought last year for mobile games. So we still haven't seen what they're working on, but hopefully that's something good. Bloomberg is reporting that Nintendo is going to make more Switches in its next fiscal year starting in April, which is kind of weird because somebody was saying it's weird when that came out 7 years ago. So anybody hoping for a Switch Pro, Switch 2, all that? I don't know.
7 years or 6 years?
6 years. Sorry.
Okay.
What year is it? Yeah, 6 years ago.
Okay.
Konami also, as we were speaking about them earlier, they are open to more pitches from indie studios about their IP after the reception to their recent Silent Hill announcements. I don't care. Just do Silent Hill 2 remake and give me my Metal Gear. Hitman is getting a new roguelike mode called Freelancer on January 26th this week. Black Myth Wukong is coming out summer next year. I had this on my list of games to draft, and then I saw this. I was like, oh, okay. I'm glad that was at least announced it's not coming out this year. Because I keep getting this and Wolong Fallen Dynasty.
I was going to say, I can't remember what this is.
EA's PGA Tour is coming out March 4th, after a year's delay. PS Plus Extra and Premium games were announced for this month. Extra includes Back 4 Blood, Dragon Ball FighterZ, Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition, Life is Strange, and Life is Strange Before the Storm, Sayonara Wild Hearts, Jet the Far Shore. That was a weird way to say that. Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Sayonara Wild Hearts.
Jet the Far Shore, Just Cause 4, and other games. Premium gets Siphon Filter 3, Star Wars Demolition, and Hot Shots Golf 2. Are you happy, Sean?
Yeah. There's nothing on that list that... I mean, definitely not on Premium. Extra, I don't know. Back 4 Blood, maybe. I don't know.
Dragon Ball FighterZ has always just been amazing to look at. I've never played it.
Yeah, I've never gotten into it, but it looks pretty.
In my mind, I like fighting games, but really, I like Street Fighter. You know, like,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Not really doing anything for me there. Oh, that's what I was going to say. You know what you can get on PS Plus Premium You want another platinum that's achievable but not a cheap one? The Super Monkey Ball that they've got on here. I never played Super Monkey Ball. People rave about it, that it's such a great port, and it's got trophies. It's got a platinum that's achievable.
Really?
Yeah.
That's what I heard about Ape Escape.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking. That's what.
Okay. I tried. I'm like, it's
okay.
just, oh God. It was like trying to play Mario 64. Like, you forget how bad games were around that time. Like, it just, I couldn't, I don't think I played for 5 minutes, and I was just like, nope, I'm done.
Well, never mind. I tried.
Yeah.
Bye. That's it for episode 310 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank y'all so much for being here. We might be back next week. It might be 2 weeks. We'll be back next week because we'll at least have as long as the Microsoft thing doesn't suck, we'll be back next week. We'll at least have that to talk about. But until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.